Well, good morning. Good morning this morning, everybody. Hey, it's Dr. Eric Naputi. Hope you're having a blessed day wherever in the world you are. Hey, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you or someone you know have long haulers? How many of you remember? I mean, my gosh, COVID seems like just yesterday, but it was 5 years ago. So, 2020, when most of the world was scrambling to try to understand how to survive COVID, we transformed some of our clinics into diagnostic centers and research facilities for long hauler syndrome, for the COVID crisis. What we discovered was not some post-viral condition that medicine had really seen before, but there was an entirely new disruption in human physiology. We never seen this change the way that this virus was changing people. That's why it was such a strange deal. And now 99.9% of the world knows and believes that, this was man-made, altered in a lab. This has a ferrin cleavage site. It has HIV characteristics in the actual code of the virus. So we know this is a weird situation. And I get it. People don't want to admit liability. They don't want to admit fault. I understand that. But what I want to know is do you know anyone, or have you heard of this long haulers syndrome? So give me a thumbs up. You guys can see me and hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm Dr. Eric Naputi, functional medicine practitioner. And let me just tell you, at the center of this long haulers syndrome is this really uniquely sinister villain called the spike protein. And whether it was introduced into somebody's body through an injection or through an infection, this foreign protein continues to really wreak havoc on the cells, on the gut microbiome, on genetic expression. It's disrupting DNA repair. It's leading to mitochondrial dysfunction. It's causing immune issues. And it leads not only to lingering symptoms, but it's reactivating dormant viruses. And tonight at 6 p.m. on my Wellness Wednesday workshop that you guys can go check out. You can check that out if you go to biolimitless.com/live. I'll be there tonight at 6 p.m. We'll be on all of our social media channels as well. But we're seeing a major increase in Epstein-Barr virus, in cytomegalovirus, in HHV6, in all these other autoimmune conditions. We're seeing turbo cancers and all these deals. We're seeing an alarming rise in Lyme's disease reactivation, and post-COVID is the reason, because what we're finding is the spike protein acts like what's considered an oncogenic type of a compound. It's not been labeled that yet. It's not been labeled as an oncogenic type virus. Oncogenics are like human papillomavirus, HIV virus. Those can lead to immune suppression, which can lead to cancer. But we're seeing, and I've seen this now in our practice in thousands of people, we've seen a reduction of your T cells, which are your fighter cells in your body, and we're seeing an increase in the suppressor cells. So what we're noticing is the spike protein is hijacking the immune system, and it's literally causing people to have a reduction of a blood test called CD8 and CD4. And when that happens, the immune system's not strong enough to really deal with any types of infections or protect itself from things. So perhaps the most consistent hallmark that I'm seeing with this long COVID syndrome is this mitochondrial dysfunction. How many of y'all know people who, when they got COVID or got an injection, their get up and go got up and went? They're just exhausted. They have no energy left. Their brain doesn't work. Their gut's messing up. Their muscles are bad. They're shortness of breath all the time. What's happened is we're noticing a reduction in the output of cellular energy. So when you eat food, when you have vitamins, when you have nutrients, that goes into a system in your body, and then it kicks out this compound called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. Well, this ATP production we're seeing is now like about 50% reduced in people across the board. And when your ATP production is down, your body can't heal, your cells can't function, you're going to get inflammation, you're going to have all these issues going on. So our clinical findings are emerging that long hauler syndrome really disrupts the gut microbiome. It destroys a few of the specific bacteria necessary. Bifidobacterium, a specific type of lactobacillus. There's a few other enterococcus bacteria that seems to get disrupted with this COVID infection or injection, and that's what we're finding. When the gut gets messed up, the immune system now is jacked up. So we've seen other viruses do this, where viruses come in and their survival mechanism is overtaking the immune system or destroying gut bacteria that is going to essentially have an immune response that will take this virus out. Our clinical findings are showing that we're finding a disruption in those key bacteria, leading to something called dysbiosis. I'm going to talk to you in just a moment about what we're doing in our clinical practices to fix these things, and it's working, but it just takes time. It's taking a long time, because when you have cellular dysfunction, when you have gut microbial loss of certain bacteria, repairing that is kind of like planting a forest after a fire went through. If you've got a forest fire that has destroyed everything, that can't be repaired in a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. It takes time. It takes months to years to repair that. And what we're finding is when the gut gets abnormal, it throws off the brain component. So the dysautonomia that we're seeing, the POTS, the autoimmune issues, and even the turbo cancers, it's because several of those immune processes like T cells have been suppressed. And then the bacteria in the gut, where 90% of the immune system lives, is the gut associated lymphatic tissue. And when that gets injured because of this COVID or this virus or this spike protein, that causes an issue. So what we are doing is we're using a system that has been very successful. I'm going to share a little bit of this system with you now. And then tonight at 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to do a full hour deep dive on this. And I'm going to answer questions. I'll do a Q&A. I'll do a deep dive. But we're going to do that tonight, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do a Wednesday night wellness workshop every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And people from all over the world can join and ask questions and get engaged. But there's a multi-step process that we go through. Number one, we test people, because what we're finding is the vast majority of individuals, at least in the last 4 years since we've been testing thousands of people that have long haulers or post-COVID syndrome, whatever you want to call it, most of them, some 90% of them, have a genetic imbalance called MTHFR or some other type of methylation issue. When they have those methylation issues, the body can't detoxify. It can't take B vitamins and convert it into usable energy. The ATP production is already problematic. Now you throw this virus at it and all the other things that come with it, graphene oxides, parasites, all kinds of other stuff. It's this stack that really we can't function with. So number one, we test, we don't guess. We test the gut microbiome. We test the pH of the body, look at the ATP production. We measure the brain activity to see if it's in sympathetic overload. And then we look at the genetics. That's number one. Test, don't guess. Step number two, every single person that's got this issue needs a cellular metabolic reset. We put them on a 45-day program. Some people need multiple 45-day resets. It's a restrictive food plan. It's real specific to reduce inflammation on a cellular level and to make sure that the body has the right macros and micros it needs to heal. You can find that program at 45easy.com, and there's 3 tracks. There's a fat loss track, a muscle gain track, and just a reset track. We put every one of our patients on that reset track. So we reset the body. While we're resetting the body, we're removing the toxins. We use a formula called Detox Pro Plus. Listen, we use a formula called Detox Pro Plus, and the Detox Pro Plus helps the body bind heavy metals, microplastics. It gets glyphosates, other pesticides, herbicides, impurities out of the body. It also helps the body plant. There's 80 essential bioavailable minerals in that. Minerals help our cells become electric again. So we remove the toxins with that. We use the Detox Pro Plus with our long haulers patients for the first 45 days, 2 in the morning, 2 midday, and 2 in the evening. We do a great great result with that. There's other things that we do as well for drainage. We do standing vibration. We teach them brushing techniques for their body. We teach them how to avoid certain toxins and eat certain foods. So we got to remove the clutter. We're going to take the trash out of the body. And that's what most people have an issue with. Then what we're going to do is we're going to recharge the cells. Now, most people who have long haulers or chronic illness or chronic inflammation, their pH level is acidic. Normal pH should be between a 7 and an 8.5. If that pH is low, there's a correlation between the pH and the output of ATP. So we want to get that pH that's low, below a 7, up to a 7, up to an 8.5. And we also want to get the methylation system moving. So we want to give the body something it can take so that when it takes food in, it can convert it out to usable energy in the body. That's ATP. We use our cell signal formula for that. We put them on 3 of these pills in the morning, typically with no food, and then 3 of them at noon with their first meal of the day. We do this with all of our patients while they're on a ketogenic carnivore type of a food plan. That way that they have all the protein that their body needs. Most individuals we're finding don't have enough of the proteins in their body to repair the damage on a cellular level. Then what we do is we rebuild the gut microbiome. We know that there is a deficiency in bifidobacteria, lactobacillus, certain other bacteria in the body that happen with that infection or injection of COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2. So we use our master microbiotics formula. It's a very specific blend that we put together. That we studied the blue zones and the longevity studies. There are multiple studies globally that shows that people who have a specific type of bacteria and fungi in their body live a happier, healthier, longer life because their cells, their genes, and their bodies function better. This formula is that, and it has a very unique delivery system allowing for maximum absorbability into the intestines. So that's important. We got to rebuild that bacteria. We also teach them to eat fermented food, at least 1 or 2 servings a day. Whether it's kombucha, kimchi, it's sauerkraut, some type of fermented vegetable, something. We got to rebuild that up. And we do that. We do it in 45-day cycles. So we test, we treat for 45 days, we retest, 45 days, retest, because the body takes time to heal. Most of these folks we're finding take about 12 to 18 months to really make a huge change. They feel better fast, but their body long-term doesn't stay where it needs to be because it takes time for those cells to change. It takes 120 days for red and white blood cells to turn over. It can take up to 12 to 18 to 24 months for all those new cells to make new tissues, to make new organs. So that's a big, big deal. Now, if we have patients that have neurological components to this, where their brain's not working, they're forgetting things, they're having a lot of increase in neurological decline, we put them on a formula called Neuro Reboot. That Neuro Reboot formula is a tripeptide formula that helps produce BDNF in the brain. It's the miracle grow so the brain can rewire and turn back on. It also has peptides in it that help with what's called therapeutic angiogenesis, so the new formation of blood vessels in the body. That'll help the body make those new wiring and firing connections. And then if we have folks that are having muscle issues or cardiovascular issues with it, shortness of breath, POTS, tachycardia, all these kinds of things, I will add to their protocol the cellular reset formula, which is a peptide formula for that. Now, a lot of you are going, oh my God, this is a lot of information. Tonight, 6 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to spend a good hour going deep into this. And I just want you to understand that there is a process that can be done. Everyone's uniquely different, but I'm telling you, about 80% of the people that we find respond to what I'm sharing with you. That other 20%, we've got to dig deeper and do more things physically, chemically, and neurologically with those folks. These people that are that 20% that are tougher cases, which may be you, those folks typically have insulin resistance or metabolic disorders or liver dysfunction or other disease processes in their body that's literally causing and contributing to these issues. So What I'll tell you is long haulers is a lot more common than you think. And this is the first time we've ever seen a global crisis like this. I'm telling you, I see 4 or 5 patients every day, brand new people from all over the country that are coming in saying, I've got this going on, that going on. I don't know where it came from. We're able to trace it back to conditions like this. And if you go through this step-by-step process and do the things that are necessary, we can regenerate our body and regain our health back. Everybody's body's a little uniquely different. Some we can have full recoveries. Some people we just can't yet. But I will tell you that there are no drugs that fixes this. There is no medical cure. By the way, I don't want to go to the people that caused the problem and say, hey, can you fix the problem that you caused me to have now? And that really is the case. So I just want you to know that there is hope. There are people all over the world that are suffering, and are suffering unnecessarily. And remember that knowledge is power. That's what the key is. The more you know about your health, the more you can absolutely unequivocally guide your health and be in control of your health. Because if you're not in control of your health, then folks, who else is going to be? Your doctors aren't going to save you. The hospitals aren't going to save you. The government's not going to save you. You have to be your own advocate. And that's why we're explaining to people that self-care is the real healthcare. The more you understand about yourself, the better you can take care of yourself, your friends, your family, your children, your loved ones, and doctors, even your patients. So guys, listen, I got to get going. I just wanted to jump on real quick and give you kind of a sneak peek of what we do behind the scenes in our functional medicine centers to help people who are dealing with long hauler syndrome. It really is a cellular crisis. It's a metabolic crisis. It's a genetic expression crisis. It's a sympathetic overload crisis, and it's a gut microbiome crisis. And if you stop focusing on the symptoms and start focusing on the root cause, it actually becomes pretty easy to deal with. You just have to go through that process. So understand that long haulers is not a mystery, it's a map. And it shows us just how broken our modern supposed healthcare system is. When they can't label something a disease, they don't know how to manage it. And I don't know about you, I'd rather have some repair done on a genetic, cellular, microbiome, and a neurological standpoint than just take a bunch of drugs to manage my symptoms. How many of y'all would agree with me on that and give me an amen? So tonight, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to be with all of you. We'll be on all of our social media channels, but you're probably not going to be able to see this talk very much on social media because of the censorship. So go to biolimitless.com. That's biolimitless.com/live. biolimitless.com/live. Guys, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to share a bunch of information with you tonight. If you know anyone who has long haulers, tell them to come check out this talk we're doing tonight. Ask whatever questions you've got. I'm going to try to engage you guys, and I'm telling you the best is yet to come. But knowledge is power. It's the wisdom that takes that knowledge and applies it to your life. That's the key for success. Guys, I got to go. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless this beautiful, beautiful world. You guys have an amazing day. Stay smart out there, and I'll see you soon. Be well, everybody.